Heavenly Father.
Doogie
Goldstein.
Goldstein.
Yes.
Okay.
To get filthy.
Doogie Goldstein.
Rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Money ain't a thing. I spend it on my chick.
Yeah.
Pull up 24s cost like a brick. Hop out looking like a blockbuster flick. Movie star eye, who's fresh as this? Retro Gucci, Japanese Louis.
This kind of sounds like that one Ray J song a little bit.
Which one? 143?
Yeah.
Hate the more they run to me. Living every day like I just
Yeah,
hit the
this
lotto.
is like on the radio,
Champagne
like,
bottles and low
Yes,
rider
some-
bottles.
something
20 years ago.
similar.
Real
This is
homie,
before
that's
Kanye
my
West with the
motto.
auto-tune. I was like the first
Oh, really?
rapper.
Okay.
This is like a quarter century old, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I like the beat. That's you right now?
Yeah.
Hey.
Me and Cosmo.
Okay.
Hey.
Cosmo does all this stuff for Burner, all the production and whatnot for Burner.
Nice.
And Cosmo's like one of my artists at the time, you know what I mean? For
Yeah.
years. Yeah. So, yeah.
You made this beat too?
Me and Cosby did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
1 mil, 2
It's
mil,
like-
3 mil, 4. Money stacked up from this to the
Yeah, Geico
floor.
used this-
So much
this-
paper that it's
this
hard
beat
to
in the
count.
national
Every day I
campaign.
get paid in large amounts. And
Geico?
Geico, yeah.
They use your beat.
Yeah.
So they buy it from you?
No, I don't sell anything.
Wow.
I lease. Keep those checks coming in.
Yeah.
What's up with it? What's up with it? What's up? What's happening?
Thank you for having me over.
Oh yeah,
here.
it's all good.
Both of you, yeah, I appreciate it. You know,
And it's an honor to have you here. It's
both
an
of you
honor.
look great.
You too,
Thank
brother.
you. You
too.
look great as well.
I'm working on it.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
keep up the good work.
All right.
Working on it.
We're about to get this thing cracking off right now. What's up with it?
Yes. What's up? What's up?
What's up? Talk to me.
Welcome to Get With The Program podcast. You're here to get your weekly fix with Maybee and Freedom on Get With The Program podcast. So they're a little backwards, but you know where you're at.
Yeah,
I'm
Yes.
learning where I'm at. This is amazing right here.
Yeah.
What a setup.
Thank you for coming, bruh.
Like the Joe Rogan show, man. This
Yeah.
is great. I love this kind of stuff.
This is awesome.
So we start off our show. We start off our show every time when we walk up in here with something we're grateful for. The things that we're grateful for that keep us in gratitude, that keep us going. So you want to crack this off, maybe?
Actually, let's do things a little different. How about we have our guest spit off some gratefuls?
Oh, what?
Tell us a few things that you're grateful for today.
Man, I'm grateful just to be here, alive. It's not a given, you know. I know a lot of dead people, and unfortunately, the culture can kind of like, you know, live for the dead too much rather than living for life. And you know, like I knew Tupac before he was famous. You
Yeah.
know, Mac Dre was my best friend.
Oh, really?
The last song he did, Get Doogie With It, that's
Oh.
about me.
Oh my gosh.
Get Doogie With It.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead.
Love him.
It's horrible.
It is horrible, but
So I'm just grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children, you know, having a place to live. You know, coming here, you see a lot of homeless people and a lot of people that are in really horrible situations, and you realize how fortunate you are. You know, just coming down here, right here, like you like really realize, like, wow, you know, I live in a bubble, you know, and so coming down here, you're out your bubble, and you realize, like, wow, you're really fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just being from Northern California, you're fortunate.
Yeah.
I lived other places. I lived in New York. I lived in, you know, I had to go to Jamaica every summer with my father's side of the family, you know, and the pet chicken is your food, man.
Yeah.
It's not a pet. Don't get too close to it. You know,
yeah.
my pops is not from here. My mother's from Marin, but my father's from the Lower East Side of New York, via Jamaica, via London, Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting. So just realizing, man, just lucky to be American, man.
Yeah. Right?
Just that part.
Yeah.
Just to be in America. I mean, I don't know if folks hate America or I love America.
Yeah.
Because I live other places, you know. I realize how fortunate I am just to be American.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 80% of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're born,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
Yeah. How about y'all?
Well, thank you. I love your gratitude list. Today, I feel really grateful just to honestly be able to have the mindset to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And that God woke me up today.
That's right.
Just being honest, lately I've been dealing with a lot of heavy stuff, and life has changed drastically for me in the last couple of years. And I think everything's just kind of like hit me all at once. So taking it in, processing, you know, like trying to stay grounded and not let the hard things take me over, you know. So just to be able to have people in my life to motivate me and push me and speak life into me when I'm feeling down and hopeless or overwhelmed. You know, I've suffered from clinical depression pretty much my entire life since I was a teenager. And I think unless you really have experienced like real depression, you don't understand like what it's like. See, people are like, oh, just, you know, get out and do this or do. It's like, it's not like that.
Take a hike and feel better.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, it's like the littlest thing can feel overwhelming. Even just brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating something. Like, when's the last time I ate, you know? So today I just feel really grateful that I was able to push myself and do the things I needed to do and to feel good, and grateful to be here. This is absolutely one of my most favorite things in the world to do, is sitting in this room, interviewing and hanging out with Freedom and the whole Marin TV staff. Like, they're all amazing. We love them so much.
Yeah. What a blessing.
Yeah, it really is. This is therapy, and, you know, for me, but it also helps so many other people. And then we get to meet amazing people like you and have a great time and share a great conversation and learn some new things and laugh. I mean, it's just always a great thing.
Yes.
I'm also really grateful for my mom. She has been my parent, one of my only parents pretty much my whole life. I just met my dad a couple years ago. So, but lately she's really just been so present in my life and my kids' lives. And I feel like she's really trying hard to just be a different mom. I don't know. Our relationship is growing and changing. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
So
she's gotten a second chance.
Yeah. I mean, she had me when she was young, you know, so she did a lot of things that she probably isn't happy about or whatever. But now that she's older and she's more grounded and stable in her life, she's able to just like see the big picture and, you know, be there for me and the kids and other people. She's awesome. I love her so much.
That's everything.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Grateful to meet you, and
Thank you.
Grateful for whatever's to come from this co-creation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you, Freedom? What are you grateful for today?
You're looking great, man.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. Thank you.
And you guys look fabulous.
Yes.
I keep saying that, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be around nice-looking people.
Right.
That's a great
that's
thing.
always good.
That's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess today I'm grateful for, you know, I was going to come in here and really be like irritated today, but I got in a hella good mood when I saw my co-host and I was like, man, we about to do something really positive today.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and I was like, on my way down here, I was like, damn, I'm so grateful for stupid people.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those, right? I was
Right.
like, man,
Right.
doing dumb shit,
Right.
you know, not
Crazy shit.
giving a care,
Yeah. Right.
you know, ignorance.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm grateful for that because, you know, I mean, man, I'm blessed today. I'm blessed. And
you were blessed back then too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being ignorant.
Yeah. Right.
Because you're still here.
Because without all those mishaps, right, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Right. We wouldn't. You got to have some shit going on in your life to where life gets hard, life gets challenging, and it pushes you
Yeah.
to be a better person, or it crumbles you.
Right.
And for a long time, I let it crumble me all the time.
Yeah.
And my anger is one of the things that I am trying to keep a grip on today. So I'm grateful for a program of recovery that I get to wake up sober and know that it's a day-by-day reprieve, a daily reprieve, contingent on the maintenance of what I do, what I choose to do.
Right.
Get in touch with my higher power, connect with God
Right.
upon awakening,
Right.
and go out here in this world and be a servant.
Right.
Be God's child.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because if I take my ego off the table and say, who did I help today, then I'm in less danger of
Right.
myself.
Right.
I keep my ego in check and I stay away from John, because with freedom or whatever, you know what I mean, with me, too much of me is a problem.
Right.
And I've had a lot of people tell me that too much of you is a problem.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want too much of you. We just give us little snippets here and there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for
Give us a single, not-
all these lessons.
not an
right?
album, yeah.
All these lessons. I'm grateful for the youth that invited me to Redwood High School yesterday
Yeah.
to do a interview for a newspaper article that they're writing up. Students
great.
are getting ready to engage upon a bigger mission in this world, and they found my website for Surviving the Odds Project and said, hey, we would like to do an interview on you. You've been doing some great stuff in this community. Who are you? Basically, and I said, this isn't about me. Let's not make this about me. Let's make this about the kids we serve. So
Isn't
I
that
made
great?
sure
Isn't
I
that
made
great
sure
to
that
be-
they contacted
Yeah.
some kids that have graduated the program and interviewed them, because it's about their experience, not about mine.
Right.
All I did was write up a beautiful program for them to attend.
You're the
Right.
you're the vessel.
Right. And so that's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for my mom. Last thing, I love you. And if you watching this show one day, just know that your son is making waves in this world, and that you're not alone. I'm on my way back to Louisiana to see you shortly,
Yeah.
and I love you.
Yeah. I love you too.
Yeah, and moms.
I know your mom. Yeah. I remember when y'all first moved out here from Louisiana
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah, 1986, baby.
Y'all was some badass kids, man. There was a whole bunch of y'all, and we was all partners
Yeah, yeah.
because we from Louisiana too.
You remember the steel cage matches on side of Hayden's?
So you was younger than me, so it was but I do remember,
Yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, speaking of moms, I actually know someone that grew up with your mom. Her name is Jill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Did
know
your research.
Victoria Grayson?
I do.
Yeah, that's my big mama.
Is that right?
Yeah, I told her you were our guest today. And she's like, oh, I grew up with his mom.
She sure did. Yeah.
Yep.
I grew up with her son, Bari.
Yes, rest in peace, Barry.
Rest in peace. He was a great guy.
Yes.
I used to go.
Yeah.
We grew up together playing basketball. And Bari always had the freshest kicks. We admired Bari.
Yeah.
Because he was like he was never into any nonsense. He
Mm-hmm.
was always just solid.
Yeah.
So that's the death part.
Yeah.
What's the life part?
Yeah.
We love all y'all. If y'all in heaven listening,
Yeah,
and her
they are.
mother's not here anymore. So yeah, we love everybody.
So I forgot your little intro, because I apologize for that, by the way. You like to go by your artist name, the Doog? Or you like
Doogie,
Doogie?
the Doog.
Yeah, yeah. So this is one of my long-term friends. I mean, like he said,
Absolutely.
we met in the 80s.
Yeah,
And, man, I'm super proud of you, bro.
man. Thank you.
So your accomplishments
Thank
speak
you.
volumes
Thank
for our
you.
community,
Thank you.
for, represent a black man.
Yeah.
And, I just want to tell you, by me asking you to come to this show, it was to enlighten our community
right.
on the positive things,
Right.
to come.
Yeah, I feel honored.
Yeah.
I feel honored to be here. Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for you as well. And obviously you keep good company.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, birds of the same feather flock together.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So, but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
And I want to tell you to tell moms I said hello,
Yeah.
the family,
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
appreciate everything you've always done for me, man.
Yeah.
And let us get an intro on who you are.
I don't know
Like,
who I
you know,
am, man.
you
I'm
know
trying to
who you
figure-
are.
How do I summarize
Like,
that, man?
what you've been doing, what you've been up to. I know you got a lot of things going on right now with your dog walking business. You got the music
dog
industry
training
still. I see you
stuff,
dipping your
yeah.
feet back into music.
Well, I have a catalog, so
Yeah.
you never can dip out because
Yeah.
you have to manage your catalog. I put a lot of records,
Yeah.
But what I'm most proud of is funding the Marin City Boxing Club in '96 with Boom. I put up the money for that. A lot of folks don't really know that. It's like it's the last standing, like the longest standing program in Marin City, you know? So that was just dope to be a part of that, you know, and that it's still there. You know, it's a lot of programs come and go.
It's a boxing program?
It's a boxing gym in Marin City.
Nice.
Yeah. So since '96, I've been the sponsor of that.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
And anyone can go, kids, adults, men, women.
The community.
That's awesome.
It's nice too.
Yeah.
It's been remodeled since then. But shout out to my boy Pete.
Hey.
Yeah, Pete. But it's still going. We got Jerry working there. It's like a generational thing. You know? And it was my first effort at philanthropy. You know? Given, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider it that. It was natural.
Yeah.
To support this idea.
Yeah.
Financially. But yeah, man, I've done a lot of stuff, man. I started with a janitorial service, man. In high school, I was going to Marin Catholic. Started a janitorial business. Got some great accounts. Knew some Italians who own some restaurants, man. Start popping, you know what I'm saying? Knew Pat Coletto. I knew all the right people, you know? And life-changing. Started a family, got married at 18 in Costa Rica to my wife. My first wife. This is my second wife.
Yeah.
Married 25 years. Raised 3 kids. Bought a house in San Rafael, Peacock Gap in '94. You know? So I lived like a city life and like a family life. You know?
Well versed.
I don't, you know? I'm 19 in a community where everyone's 75 and up.
Yeah.
So I had to be fairly conservative. You know?
Yeah, you seem like you have a very young spirit.
Yeah, I do. I mean, old and young.
Yeah, no, you're very youthful.
Thank you.
Yeah. When is your birthday?
April 7th.
Oh, Aries.
I'm Aries.
How about you? How about your wife? When's your birthday?
February 22nd.
She's so funny.
Nice.
She's a painter. She's a painter. She's an artist.
What?
Lovely. Well, you're a Pisces. Most Pisces are artists.
Yeah, she's a painter.
Very creative people.
She's creative. She paints flowers and stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Yeah, she's from Canada, man. I married a girl from Marin, the first wife, and did that 25 years. Now I'd say I'm going to old Canada.
Hey, Cardi B says Canada is the place to party. She said no one parties like Canada.
Yeah, well, she's not much of a partier. She's just, man, we live a very simple life. Very simple.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to be a good person,
Yeah.
man. Good example, man.
Yeah.
I'm realizing as I get older, simple is the best. It really is. Things are too chaotic and too crazy. It's no good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's simple. I mean, think about the people that didn't live long enough to embrace simple.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what would Tupac be doing if he was still alive right now? Would he be living in Stinson Beach, like, hanging out, walking his dog, and writing poetry? Probably so.
I was literally going to ask
Probably
you.
so.
I was going to ask you.
But
Like,
he didn't live that long.
Yeah.
No, the same thing with Mac Dre. I mean, we were moving Mac Dre to Sausalito. He was in escrow on in those condos over there. He was kind of like disconnecting from a lot of stuff and a lot of people and coming out here to rock with me, man. And he passed in the middle of that. You know what I'm saying? We were recording at Laughing Tiger right here in San Rafael. What was that, 20 years ago? 20-something years ago? So we don't know. You know, we don't know. But he was changing. He was shedding. He was transitioning to a different person. He's like, man, I got kids on ecstasy pills, man. I gotta get rid of Mac Dre and bring back Andre.
Yeah.
And just kind of like start over a little bit, you know?
It's amazing that you've been so close to 2 artists that like their music will never get old.
It's funny.
Never.
It's how God works. I met Mac Dre in like 1988, 89. I was at church. I played the organ in the church back when I was a kid, right? And it was a party. I don't remember when the church was like where the school is now, the church, the Holiness Church, and then across the street was remember that?
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah.
And so I would split time between the party and the church, and you know, Mac Dre had a show at the Rec Center, and so did Tupac. This is like 1988. This is when Tupac was doing all his shows up in Santa Rosa and stuff with Ray Love and Sonoma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like more of a 707 thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he had one show out there with Digital Underground when he first got with them. And man, it was crazy. So that's how I met Mac Dre. Shock G had crashed his Ferrari in back of the Rec Center. Because somebody started shooting. And it was a big Marin City Crest fight.
I remember that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It was chaos.
Yeah.
So that's how I met Mac Dre, and we've been partners ever since. Through Tupac.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how that worked out.
Did they ever do any music together? Mac Dre and Tupac?
I don't think so.
That would have been dope.
That would have happened.
Yeah.
It would have happened for sure. It would have.
That would
happened.
have happened. Yeah. I mean, a lot of things would have happened, you know?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Everybody always be like, man, you didn't know Pac. You know Pac? I'm like,
Yeah.
I just have to laugh shit off sometimes.
I know. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I didn't know the Pac that was with Suge Knight.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't
we
know
didn't
that
know.
guy.
We didn't know him. We didn't.
I
know
went to
him,
see
right.
that guy one
Yeah,
time in
right.
Vegas. And I
Right.
was just like, bro, you in over your head over here, man.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not it, bro. It's time to go to Stinson, man.
Yeah.
Tuck it in, man.
Time to tuck it back in.
Be
Yeah.
Richard Moran, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Go back to Santa Rosa somewhere on the coast. Tuck it in, man. This ain't it,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah. But,
I like how you talked about the simple, like, lifestyle earlier. How you said it's calm and it's peaceful. And like when you're on social media, bruh, like everything about you is peace. Seriously.
yeah.
You know?
Thank
and
you.
it's inspiring. I remember I messaged you recently and said, man, keep doing what you're doing, bruh.
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And those messages mean a lot
Yeah.
because it's random and it's just like, you know, I don't think anyone's paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
But apparently people are.
And mostly it's because I've been in search of peace and serenity, right? I've been trying to seek a calmer lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? From what I was used to.
Right.
Being in prison for so many years, being around all that damn chaos.
Right.
You know what I mean? Coming back to the streets, getting involved with the gangs and all that stuff.
Right.
And then now I'm a father of 5,
Right.
you know? And
Right.
I'm just looking at other people as my mentors.
Right.
How are you doing this? How are you living your life right now, doing
Right.
what you're doing?
Right.
And then I just started taking little bits and pieces from everything.
Yeah, life's a compilation because, you know, I look at every culture and I find things that I admire about each culture. You know, from the Guatemalans to the Mexicans to the Italians to the Jamaicans to the guys straight out of freaking Kenya or whatever. I just find things that is dope about them
Yeah.
and I try and take it from myself.
What was your relationship with Cosmo like when you started doing music with him? Because that's a huge part of you know, us, you know, him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
For those who don't know, who is Cosmo?
Oh yeah.
Cosmo's the guy, man. He's like my brother, you know. He's
Yeah.
he's also an Aries, you know. He's an artist that I signed I don't know, a quarter century ago.
He
If
doing
not
big
more,
things right now. He doing it.
You know, he stayed in the background,
Yeah.
stayed really humble. And now God is really blessing him, but he's been blessed the whole time, you know. I watched him evolve. Now he's got all these platinum plaques
Yeah.
and all this success, you know.
Yep.
And I'm happy. I'm happy that everybody that kind of came through my camp was successful. You know, like the David Ali, he's managing Kaylani right now. You know, and T Grizzly, and you know, but he started with, you know, a lot of folks started with me, and I'm not a gatekeeper. Like I like to see other people do well. You know, doing well by yourself is depressing. That's depression. You know?
Yeah.
You know, living in Peacock Gap, kid from Marin City.
Yeah.
Is depressing because you don't have any, you know, you don't
Yeah.
really necessarily connect with your neighbors
Yeah.
when you're a kid. You know, I wish more folks were there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wish more folks lived in Mirror Beach that have my background, you know?
How did you you know, you got a shoe line, right? You got some shoes out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she designed the shoes, my wife. She's an
Are you
artist.
serious?
Yeah, she's dope.
What?
Yeah, she's dope. She designed the shoes. The shoes are made in Italy, you know. Just opening up a different door.
Yeah.
It's random, man. Like the shoes, you know, I'm a physical product guy. I'm not like
Yeah.
I like selling stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy having a tangible product.
Yeah.
You know, we're selling paintings. Like we had an art gallery in Sausalito, and we had to shut it down because of COVID. Because we opened it like the week before COVID
Oh, man.
happened. I know, bad timing.
Yeah.
But it's been a blessing because we're doing online sales. You know.
Your collar is down on one side and up on the other side. It's driving me crazy. Thank you.
Thanks for your honesty.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, man. So thanks for asking about the shoes. I wish I had a pair for you, but they're made on demand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
They look super comfortable.
Yeah, they are. They are, but they're pretty fly. They're more fly than comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So if we were to order them on your site, what's the turnaround?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a shoe district in
Yeah.
southern Italy, and they've been making shoes for like 600 years.
Yeah.
Like for human beings when we were like almost like, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, when shoes weren't normal. It's like an actual shoe district. What is
Yeah.
that shoe district called? I forget the name of it, the part of it.
More like 3 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
3 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like rich history, you know,
Yeah.
because you're dealing with like an Italian company,
Right.
you know, and it's in like an Italian shoe district, which I didn't even know existed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm learning a lot. I'm learning more than I'm teaching right now, you know, because the world's changed, you know. So I'm just doing like a lot of listening, you know.
May I just say, the shoe line came about with one of these kind of conversations,
Yeah.
and he said, one thing I've always wanted and I've never had is a shoe line. And so I kind of secretly designed some shoes behind his back and showed it to him.
Yeah,
And that's
sure
how it-
did.
That's how it came about.
That's awesome.
This kind of dialogue.
Excuse me.
creative.
Yeah, we're just trying stuff. We're just trying stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you go down to LA with like to meet with like major labels, like they'll sign like 100 people, right?
Right.
Like we used to go down there with Priority, me and JT the Bigger Fig and all that kind of stuff back in the days. And, like, cause I put out like a lot of his records and stuff. That's like a big part of my catalog. And but they just throw like it's like the way the guy put it was like they're just throwing putty on the wall to see what sticks. And what sticks is going to make them a lot of money. And what doesn't stick is a loss, and it's a tax write-off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was game for me, man, back in the days, you know? So I just try stuff. I just keep throwing stuff on the wall and see what happens. So I don't have a life. I'm just a worker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
What was your childhood like? Like coming up?
It was interesting because I had like a Marin City life, which was like family, a lot of family. You know, Andre and James, E.T., you know, y'all. I
Yeah.
consider y'all family. For real, though. Like, we were like, so, and I lived on both sides.
Yeah.
The other side and the hillside, you know? So my childhood was interesting. I had to go to New York every summer. My father was from Manhattan, the Lower East Side, before
Okay.
it was gentrified and all of that, when it was like, you know, graffiti everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So I had 2 lives.
Yeah.
I go to New York. I get jumped every summer. First week, get whooped on by the Puerto Ricans, man, Dominicans. They jump me.
Yeah.
Then we be partners, you know. And so it was just, so it was, you know, what made it interesting is that my father was not from Marin City.
Right.
Like a lot of times, Marin City mother, Marin City father. In my case, my father was from like a foreign place. He was from Manhattan, New York City, Harlem, you know. So a lot of folks only knew one half of me, you know. So, but my childhood was cool, man. I went to school with your family. Then the private school came and got me. Then I went to Marin Country Day School. I went to Marin Catholic.
What do you mean they came and got you?
Well, when you know, they take the talented kids, you know, like you do good and you do good on the test, aptitude test, IQ test, or whatever. They're
like, we're coming for you.
They pick the cream de la creme
Okay.
from the ghetto. They want the smart kid, you know, get their numbers looking like they're, you know, you know how that works.
Yeah.
They need a black kid.
Yeah.
Man. I was
Yeah.
that black kid, you know.
They need to even things out.
Well, it's not even, but But no, definitely. So I grew up with really poor people, really rich people. You know, a balance. You know, it seemed like the poor people were happier,
Yeah.
had less problems.
It just seemed like they were happy.
Seemed like we were having more fun over here in the poor side of town here. But Belvedere was cool too.
So that's cool. You're able to relate to a bunch of different kinds of people. You can sit in any room and have a conversation and relate to different people. That's awesome.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know if I really relate, because I don't have to relate to you to like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't relate, you know, to a lot of stuff, but I listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think that you can relate to me. I mean, I was not pregnant. I was pregnant at 18.
Wow.
I was married at 18 years old. Who can relate to that? You know?
Yeah.
Who marries their high school girlfriend at 18 years old?
Yeah.
You know, and you stay together for a quarter century. Like, who can really relate to that?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't look for folks to relate to me. I just try and learn about different types of people. You know?
Yeah.
I had a full family at a young age. Like, who can relate to that?
Yeah.
Like, that's difficult to understand. Like, what? Like, your daughter's 30? How old are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't try and relate. I try and understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try and understand people.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're doing music, man. It's not about the folks relating to you, man. It's about you understanding them and where they're coming from
Yeah.
and their conditions.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, I'm from a very fortunate space because I grew up here. But I've dealt with artists that are from less fortunate spaces. And to do music, you got to understand, like I didn't grow up gang banging, but I put out a lot of that kind of music. Some music that I actually regret putting out because it was negative. But at the same time, I didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? But I just try and understand. And that's what Kazi and I would do. We try and understand the artists we're working with, you know, and where they're coming from and make it like a movie,
Yeah.
you know? Like Snake Eyes was like a movie. It was like a film, you know? It was like, you know? So, yeah.
Snake Eyes, what is that?
That was Killer Take Snake Eyes. That was like one of my bigger records back in the days. Dan there went gold. He's from Fresno, from a gang-infested community. I don't know about none of that, man. I grew up hanging out at the beach, man. Trying to, you know what I'm
But you were
saying?
able to understand him and make some good music.
Well, yeah, because you have to kind of like get into that zone, you know. You got to make it authentic,
Yeah.
you know. You have to, you know. So, you know, and then just go. And there's a whole other list of artists that I work with, like Vinyl, like a band from from Muir Beach.
Yeah.
Like they're doing happy
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett instrumental music. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand them too.
Yeah.
You know, you can't make them be what they're not. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
How old were you when you started doing music?
5.
5.
Started playing the drums in church, then the organ. Yeah, so pretty much like you know, offering time. You know, you play a D major. That's a giving. That's a giving note. Get the preacher some money. You know, I learned that stuff young.
When did you when did you first get in the studio and start like recording and producing?
Start, you know, plucking around. I was inspired by like 5150 and those guys, you
Yeah.
know, Kendrick. He just passed, you know.
Man.
He was like my guy. I looked
Yeah.
up to him a lot. Young, but you know, you do things for 10 years before anything happens. You know, that's just how life works. You know, like it's not. There's no overnight successes. Like
10 years to become an overnight success.
exactly 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Probably more like 30,000. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know the first time you were in the studio that was part of your purpose is to make music?
Well, my purpose was to be a promoter initially because that's what I was really into. I was throwing parties.
Okay.
And they were popping. You know what I'm saying? And I was a guy with a family throwing parties, man. And I threw all these crazy parties in the city. You know, I started throwing parties, concerts at up north at in Petaluma and stuff like that. You know, so I was a promoter, and I like promoting other people. That was my thing. You know.
Yeah.
And that turned into a record label because what do artists need the most? Promotions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm selling shoes now, but I'm also like selling other people's shoes because I'm a shoe promoter as well. Because there's a lot of independent shoe people out there. So it allows me to promote other folks' brands as well, not just mine. You know what I'm saying? You know, because if you don't like my shoes, it's cool, but
you're gonna like somebody's shoes.
They're amazing.
And you're like, I got them for you.
Yeah, and I'm promoting you, man.
Yeah.
And I want you to win.
I love that.
Yeah. So.
I love how everything in your story so far that you've told us is very inclusive. Like you include other people. You try to bring light to others.
Because misery is better with company, and so is success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need each other. We need company. I'll never not be married. You know, like I can't do that bachelor stuff. You know, like I need people around me. I need like a routine. You know, to function. You know.
Hell yeah.
I think everyone does, and a lot of people just think that they don't. Like there's a lot of people who think they don't need anyone, you know, or like I think,
no, we do. I think I think we do.
No, we definitely do. There's just a lot of people who think they don't need anyone, right? Because like me growing up, I felt very alone, and then as I've gotten older, I've realized that you do need people, and people want to be needed as well. People want you to want them to be there for you.
Right.
Red line communities, you don't know about that?
No, what's that?
So the red line communities is kind of like Sausalito, basically, right?
Right.
Right.
They have to let you know when you're moving in there to buy a home, there's black people that live 1 mile away from
Oh,
here.
wow.
Yeah.
Or there's you know, those are like, they want to keep the other race out.
I didn't even
of the
know
rich
that was still a
communities.
thing.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a thing. I mean, now it's just done by being ridiculously overpriced. I mean, they're redlining Marin City. I mean, Marin City's 14% black now. Used to be like 100.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's happening fast. People are being displaced.
It's a silent takeover.
It's a silent takeover. Yeah.
And nobody's paying attention to it.
No, they're not. That's why, you know.
That's why they flood it continuously with drugs, alcohol, to make you blind to what's going on underneath, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The programming is bad, you know.
We keep them over here in this corner over here.
Yeah. And
Segregate them over here real quick. And we're gonna do this over here.
it's a prison of the mind, man.
Yeah.
It's a mental prison, you know. I've never really felt in prison mentally, but I saw a lot of stuff. I got a chance to travel when I was young, you know. I had to go to Jamaica every summer, you know what I mean? So I knew what poverty was. I didn't really look at Marin City as poverty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I looked at it like, this is like...
It's like a golden opportunity.
This is opportunity, man. Like,
all you have to do is change the mind frame, right?
all I gotta do is walk on the bike trail, man, and meet a pretty girl, man. Do some push-ups, man, and ride a bike and go fishing and be semi-interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna work out. I never felt that, man. I never felt uninvited.
Yeah.
You know? I invite myself.
Yeah.
You know? But apparently it's a thing, and people feel uninvited, and they feel marginalized, and they feel oppressed, and they feel a lot of things. You know? But I think that's just from a lack of perspective. You know? It's a lack of perspective, man. You know?
I remember when Pac's mom had that the houseboat over
still
there.
does, yeah.
She still does, yeah.
Her
And then the house in Sausalito up on the hill.
Yeah.
Man, it was a good experience to go there, man. A couple times, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You know, they bought Pac's mother bought I think at the peak of it, like I don't know, 6 or 7 houseboats, in the same. She had Amuru Records. That was the headquarters right there. You know, spent a lot of time over there. Yeah, man. It's and then she bought the ranch in North Carolina. I think like 1,000 acres. They sell food to Whole Foods out there. When Boone
1,000 acres,
something probably more.
Wow.
When Boone was getting clean, we sent him out there to work on the ranch with Tupac's mom out there.
Yeah.
You know, he got sober and it was a miracle. Yeah. So, you know.
how's your
Setua, what's up? I love you.
Hey, what'd you say?
Setua Shakur, that's my people, man. We went to grade school together.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Like, I always would tell her, like, I'm your friend because I was your friend when you were 9, 10 years old. This famous stuff is a distraction and a complication to our friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, know that I was your friend first. Like,
Yeah.
nothing to do with who your brother is. You know,
Yeah.
I'm somebody too. As, you know, like we all are. You know,
Isn't it amazing how you get so humbled that you don't want the spotlight at times, right?
Right.
You just say, I don't want that shit.
I hate it.
But at times, like right now, where you can enlighten somebody
Mm-hmm.
on how to get to where you were without all the bullshit in between.
Yeah. Well, some folks, they live for the spotlight, you know, and that's fine. I mean, we're all different, man.
Yeah.
You know, I've always tried to be a background person, like, you know, and tried to make sure that things were tight, you know, for the guy that I'm working with that's in the spotlight, you know. It takes both.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like it takes a very special individual to be in the spotlight, because like I was sitting the other day on my break when I was at work in Healdsburg on the town green.
Yeah.
And there was some guy like taking pictures. Just I don't know what he was taking pictures of, but he was taking pictures. And I was thinking, could you imagine being someone who's famous and very well known? You like can't even sit here in this park and just sit here, right? Like you'd have people just
Man.
in your face. Like, what if I want to look like crap? You know, just be out and just
Yeah.
be outside. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you have to constantly worry about who's watching you, what you're doing, what you look like, you know, who you're with. And
Right.
being bombarded and having that space taken up. And some people love that.
Yeah.
Some people love that and they're made for it.
And a lot of folks don't love it. That's why they do harm to themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it goes both
Like Michael
ways.
Jackson. You've been watching, have you watched that documentary of his life? I forget what it's called. I've watched it a million times.
Michael
But
Jackson?
yeah, he freaking was just so over it. Like the being in the spotlight. And it
Yeah.
really affected his mental health in a huge way.
Yeah.
And it was really sad to see, because you don't realize that, right? You just see this person who's famous, they're making this music, everyone loves them,
Yeah.
you know, and it seems like they love it, but really inside he was going crazy because
Yeah.
it was too much.
Yeah, did he love himself? Is the
Right.
question, you know? And that's what people deal with. I think people that are famous deal with like a lot of insecurity issues, and they over machismo themselves to cover it up, and they mask it
Yeah.
with their talent
Yeah.
or with acting out or you know, and but they're really not happy necessarily, you know, and you know, happiness is tough whether you're rich and famous or whether you're broke and non-famous.
Yeah.
Man, it's a challenge to be happy. It's a challenge to find something to be grateful for every day. It's a challenge for just to be a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Much less with that you're talking about, that spotlight. That
Yeah.
can be tough, you know? Like my kids did some LA stuff, and a lot of kids were groomed to be in that world, you know, where it's more like of a profession and it's not like a lifestyle. My kid was dancing down there. She went on tour with the Jay-Z
dope.
Beyonce
That's
tour
dope.
back in 2008 or whatever as a dancer.
What an experience.
Yeah, but she was like, you know, Dad, I just want to be normal. I just want to go to school with kids. I don't want to be homeschooled for a year, you know. I just want to kind of be, you know, a 10-year-old. So we moved to Oregon for a year.
So she was 10 when she was doing the dancing?
Yeah, because she had the little kid show. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's part of the show.
That's amazing. I was going to say the thing about being in the spotlight and like having to worry about what people are saying or thinking about you and like living up to certain expectations and how that can be so draining. I think about every single person you ever met in your entire life, like thousands of people, right? Every single one of those people has a different version of you made up in their mind
Right.
of who you are
Right.
based on, you know, whatever interaction that they've had of you.
Right.
And then you have your own version of who you are.
Right.
And I always think about that whenever I start to think, what does this person think about or care about someone's opinion of me?
Right.
Because, you know, it could be anything from anyone. It doesn't matter. Just depends on the situation that you've had with this person.
Right.
You know, like there was this lady that I watch on Instagram, and she was talking about, you know, could be one man that she was with that says that she was crazy, psycho, da 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 da, and then this other man that she was with that said she was the most loving, nurturing, provided a safe space and a peace for this man. And she's like, believe both of them.
Right.
Because, you know, this man, I went through this with him and this is what he put me through. So yeah, I was crazy.
Right.
And this man, he provided this safe space for me to operate in my feminine energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
it just like depends on who you're dealing with. And I think that's one of the things about being in the spotlight. Like, you have to take what a lot of people say or think about you with a grain of salt and just remember who you are and that God is really in control, and his opinion is the only one that matters at the end of the day.
Real talk.
Yeah, no, for real. I think it's good training to have people have a wrong opinion about you and have to live with that. You get used to that. My kid did like a lot of auditions, and she got rejected a lot before she actually got on. So she had to learn how to deal with rejection.
Yeah.
And crying and being hurt and how to process that and how to be tough and how to keep going, you know? Because when you're like 8, 9, 10, you're tall, you're too tall. Like, okay, we want a black and Asian girl. We don't want you. You're too tall. You're too, you know, it was a lot of rejection in LA. But I wanted her to experience that young versus like experiencing that, you know, going out there when she's 30 years old, trying to make it happen. Because you're, you know, I think you're more fragile when you're older, you know. So she learned rejection at a young age, and that
it's okay.
That it's okay. Everybody ain't go fool with you, man.
Right.
And it's
and you don't want to be for everyone.
It made her a better person.
Yeah.
You know, it made her a better person. You know, and I think that's good too. You know, I think we. You know, we want everything to be so easy and so kind, and that's just not always how it's going to be.
No.
You know? So, you know, I try and break it gently to people, like with Keisha Cole, like when I was working with her when she first started with the Cos. She's on the Cosmos first album. I just told her what they were going to tell her in LA. They'd be like, man, you're overweight. You know, you got to work out.
You got to fix your teeth.
You got right. I just told her the truth kindly. We had Marin Joe's, man. And I just told her, like, prepare yourself for this guy.
Yeah.
Who's going to be a jerk to you, bro, and get used to it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's probably right. You got to fix some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, all criticism ain't wrong. I'll try and listen to criticism sometimes. Sometimes you're right. Yeah. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't get caught up in all of that, man. You know, it's like being a politician. Like, you're going to have folks that hate you. You're going to have folks that love you. And you have to just accept both. Like, it's not going to just be all praise, you know? You know, I don't want to be praised by everybody. I want to be praised by one person. And that's my wife. Right?
Real talk.
And that's it. Everybody else, you know, hey, you don't like my outfit. That's cool. I don't like yours.
My wife does.
My wife loves it, though, man. So that's where it's at with me, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have grandchildren?
No.
Okay.
No, my kids don't have any kids.
Okay.
No.
And your kids are 30 and
27 and 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you talk with them regularly? Do they live?
Well, yeah, I was never like necessarily like a baby's father because I was married to their mother, you know. So
yeah.
It was like a full-time job and commitment, you know.
Well, you know, once your kids start growing up and they start living their own life, sometimes it's hard. Like my daughter's 19, she just moved away, and sometimes it's hard to get in touch with her and keep up with her. She's living her own life.
I know, and that's good because I didn't really like talk to my mother a lot when I was living my own life. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of the process.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're trying to figure out life in this 2023 right now. That's not easy. You know, but they're doing good. Fortunately, you know, all that private school and homeschooling and all that stuff, it paid off. It made them disciplined. You know, to keep a job and to, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, to have different types of friends and different, you know, like they're versatile. Yeah. You know what I mean? They live in lots of places. Yeah. But they get depressed and sad and all the human stuff as well. You can't get around it.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know? So looking at their life, you may see like, oh, well, they went to college, they you know, they're perfect. Like, they're not perfect, man. They have problems too. You know?
Yeah, everyone does.
Right.
Like you were saying earlier about being successful or not being successful. Either way, life is hard. And I always tell people that you pick your hard,
Right.
right? Like being homeless and living in out of a shopping cart is hard.
Right.
But being wealthy, owning multiple businesses, and your life is busy and you are dealing with a lot of people and you are responsible for a lot of people, or, you know, like I always say, I wish I could just have one day where I don't have to answer this phone.
Right.
I don't have to answer a text message.
Right.
I wish. I can't even be sick.
Right.
And that's hard.
Right.
But there's some people who don't even have a phone. They don't have anyone calling them that need them, that they're responsible for, and that is hard.
Right.
You know, so you get to pick your hard. You have a choice.
I like that. Pick your heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either
Well,
way.
You know, my heart's pretty amazing then. You know what I'm saying? Because we're sitting here,
Yeah.
we're upright,
Yeah.
we're not in a wheelchair. Like, we're pretty fortunate,
Right.
you know?
We are.
You know, to have the problems that we do have, and that's how I look at it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, my difficult day is like someone's best day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know? And that's what makes Dallas dope, is because you can learn how to not appreciate living in, you know, Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, living there, even though the people are great, the scenery's not like the prettiest all the time. And
Yeah, the weird ass thunderstorms at 3:00 in the morning. Can't go outside.
all that
There's
stuff.
10 miles away is a lightning strike.
So, you know,
My man is gonna love this episode because his family all lives in Dallas, and he's every day talking about how we're gonna move there in 2 years. I'm like, okay, but
yeah,
he loves it.
it probably would be a good move, you know,
Yeah.
probably, you know. It's great for families. It's great, you know, it's great for, it's just great for couples. They have so many things to do for couples,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, I was taking my wife to see, like, Rick Ross at the Hard Rock Cafe. Like, that doesn't happen here.
Rick Ross, the boss.
Yeah, but, like, we're eating a steak and we're watching Rick Ross.
I love that.
And it's super tame.
Yeah, it's
and-
normal.
It's normal. That doesn't happen here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
No. So it's superior.
Out of all of the places that you have lived or visited, where's your favorite besides Dallas?
My favorite. I mean, you have different favorites at different points in your life.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what, you know, what phase you're at
Mm-hmm.
in life. Currently, my favorite place is Calistoga.
Oh, I love Calistoga.
I love Calistoga. I'm looking for a house out there. I love it out there. You know,
Yeah.
that's
It's its
what we
own
do.
little world.
Yeah, I just think it's great, and it's
Mhm.
small, and you eat at Buster's.
And there's a church on every corner.
I just think it's great.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I did enjoy living in Paris, in France, because I was like a different. You know, like when you're in the place for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, you really get an education about the place,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, that was amazing. You know, no one assumed that I was American. They thought I was just French
Yeah.
until I opened my mouth. You know.
Do you speak the language?
No, I
Okay.
don't. No, I did, you know, a little bit when I was there, but you find your people. You know, you get a house by the American embassy. You know, you find your lane and you stay in it. You know,
Where has the best food that you've been?
the best food. I would say Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food is pretty damn
Food
good.
is pretty damn good. Whether you're vegan or non-vegan or you eat meat, whatever you're into,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
I think a lot of love goes into the food that's made there too.
I just think they just have better taste buds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Papa Dove's is dope. Like, when I was in Dallas, though, I was pretty much vegan, but the vegan food there is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Spiral Cafe out there in
Mm.
what's the little hood called? But out there, yeah, I just think their vegan food superior.
Mm.
Yeah.
Vegan food in Marin sucks. You know, it's just like Sprouts. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is this? What is this? Sprout?
Sprout salad.
Yeah, they have like real like vegan meals, like
Yeah.
vegan steak, like it's nice. I mean,
Nice.
really good. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So, what can we expect to come from you?
I don't know, man. I'm just dropping a new album. You know, like I'm just printing it out on vinyl.
Nice.
You need to put me on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
do.
need to put
You're
me
right.
on that.
You're right. Yeah, I'm just doing.
Well, I
new-
remember we started a song, me, you, and
We sure
Lamar.
did.
Yeah,
We sure
Me,
did.
you, and, yeah,
I'm just doing things.
And
for
Lamar,
yeah.
the Lamar we had here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah.
did a song together.
Yeah, we did.
But it was kind of like in that vibe where that we not used to no more. We just moved past that, you know.
Gotcha.
I think we should have kept that. 'cause
Yeah,
that
we
was
should have.
Cool.
I still have it.
Yeah.
Actually.
You guys could
It's in
add
the
to it and do like
Yeah,
a two.
because
Part.
believe it or not, this boy is a master when it comes to vocals. Seriously,
Thank you.
like seriously.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Like I witnessed greatness with him, like since I was younger, and
Wow.
like you inspired me, man. I'm seriously when every time you would come back to the jungle, you would always be like giving back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't no ego or none of that shit.
Nah,
Like you didn't
never.
boast or brag. It was like always like, man, how can I help you?
Pretty much.
You know, to the community.
Yeah.
So
I would go there with a pocket full of money and leave
yeah,
with nothing.
Yeah,
Just like this is my town, man.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
like, for
he's
real.
worked with a lot of artists, and you
Yeah.
know, it's just for you to even be here, to come here to this show, man.
Yeah.
Speaks a lot about our relationship.
It does. Cause I love you.
You understand what I'm saying?
I love you and I
Likewise,
admire
brother.
you, man.
Likewise, love you,
know?
too, man.
Yeah. And I'll support you in whatever you do, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your whole family, man. You know what I'm
They
saying?
miss you, man. I know Sabrina and all them gonna be watching this.
Yeah.
Angie, you know,
Nate.
yeah, all
That's
of
my
them.
boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we came up from the mud, boy.
I love this.
You know?
Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us
Thank
and
you.
sharing some of your story with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think
you.
it's
I'm
amazing.
honored.
yeah,
I'm honored. But now I gotta feed my wife.
yeah.
You know, she's been patient.
Thank
Well,
you.
go feed your wife.
Yeah.
And have you watched any of our episodes that we put out?
Yeah, I did with Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
Awesome.
sure did. That was dope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
thank you, bro.
Yeah. You guys are amazing, man.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
Thank
are.
you
Say hi to
for.
your husband or your boyfriend or whatever.
Thank
Tell
you.
him.
I will
Go
tell him.
Texas.
Yeah.
I'll meet y'all down there, Papa Doog.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Peace. Peace.
Thank you, bro.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today, watching, listening on Get With The Program podcast with Maybee and Freedom and our special guest. What did you say you wanted to go by?
Doogie.
Doogie.
Doogie Goldstein.
Doogie Goldstein.
The Doog.
In the house. The Doog.
You're cool,
Who has an album coming out. He has traveled the world and he has experienced a lot of life and has a lot of love to share, and we appreciate his energy being here with us today. You can catch us on MARIN TV every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Friday night at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's channel 26 on Comcast and channel 99 on AT&T, or anytime on our YouTube channel, Maybee and Freedom Get With The Program podcast. Thank you to CMCM, all of the staff here, all of our guests that we've had on the show, and those two that are going to come and join us eventually in the future. We appreciate you and we love you.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Yes.
God bless you.
God bless you. Peace out.
Peace.
Might catch me in London with a bougie no love, but I let them play the groupie role. Let the truth be told, Sir Duke's chillin' in the coupe, windows up, but it ain't no ceiling. Wow.